Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at another Silent Death supplement, Universal Night Watch. This one is one of the early editions for Silent Death and has to do specifically with the fights of the remaining 12 houses and their allies against the Night Brood. So we're going to take a look at the contents and what the Universal Night Watch brought to the table as far as new weapons and new ships. So if you're a bug, you might want to pay attention because these guys are gunning for you. So on page 121, Universal Night Watch for Silent Death. Universal Night Watch for Silent Death was published by Iron Crown Enterprises, ICE, for the Silent Death Next Millennium in 1997. The point of this book is it's a specific unit, the Universal Night Watch, that is set up to defend against bug hatches awakening. If you have a bug incursion in space, the theory is these guys will come in their specialized ships and clean it up for you. The idea was that every one of the 12 houses, plus their allies, would add some actual force to the Universal Night Watch. UN, United Nations Universal Night Watch. I always thought that was intentional. It's kind of like a UN peacekeeping force, except they're specifically designed against bug incursions. So when the bugs or the grubs awaken, the hatchlings, they would go ahead and dispatch the Universal Night Watch, and the Night Watch would go ahead and fight the incursion and put the grubs away. To that end, the Universal Night Watch had special funding, which is detailed in the book, and of course some specialized weaponry. The Universal Night Watch is a really cool idea, specifically against bugs. If you are doing a campaign where the bugs are the main boogeymen, Universal Night Watch fits it beautifully. There are a lot of good scenarios in this book where you're dealing with just bugs. The Universal Night Watch stuff does not work real well against other stuff, so other Terran vessels against the Universal Night Watch. The Universal Night Watch is in some trouble because some of their stuff is so specialized. So we're going to go ahead and take a look inside the book and see what new stuff this particular edition brought to the table. Again, like all the others, this supplement has some new weapons and a couple of new starship displays and even a couple of new bug displays, which was kind of neat because not only were you getting something to fight the bugs, but you had a couple of new bugs to fight against. So we're going to go ahead and take a look inside the pages. Okay, we're going to take a look inside. First thing we're going to look at is how I turn pages. There we go. The table of contents. Each of these books had the table of contents and would give you a good idea of what was inside, of course, which is what a table of contents does. But here's the introduction itself, and this tells you what the book is about and what the Night Watch is about, that they're funded through the 12 houses. One thing I haven't mentioned so far on Silent Death is they gave you these little sidebars. And in the sidebar, it would actually constitute, in many cases, a little short story. It was just a little bit of fiction to fit the mood of whatever book it was in. So this particular sidebar was about the Universal Night Watch and about how a squad would react to them. This added greatly to the flavor of whatever book it was in. So Universal Night Watch really starts around the year 6 of the next millennium. That's after Terra has fallen and the houses have escaped, and then they fought to put down the bugs. So you've got the swarms are named and numbered in here. Again, a lot of this is very similar to what Warhammer uses for the Tyranids. And then here we go into the Universal Night Watch organization, the ruling council of the Universal Night Watch, who has what authority over who, and what members have to do. So they also have surface missions because it's found, revealed in these pages of these books, that not all bug-conquered worlds are cleared of human life. Some of the bug worlds still have humans on them. The bugs are asleep or just active on the surface. So sometimes they have to go in and get the people. So that added a new wrinkle to it too. Silent Death doesn't have any kind of mechanism for land stuff. It's ground-based stuff, but you could certainly do another system and do that if you really wanted to. Here's the timeline of the fall of the empire, all the way up to 11, year 11. The new calendar begins with year 0, which is just wonderful. And then we come to the new equipment. So first off, we have Hammerhead missiles. Missiles are one of the better effective things against the bugs. We have tachyon conveyance weaponry. This one's interesting because the tachyon beam dictor, the TBD, is the long-range interstellar communication device used by the Terrans. Of course, once they learned they could talk with it, they wanted to learn if they could blow each other up with it. So they did some experimentation with tachyon weaponry and found out that because all Terran ships used tachyon communications, the tachyon weaponry didn't work as effectively because the communication system kind of diffused it, if you will. Good in book reason. But tachyon weapons are very good against bugs because bugs don't use it. So they don't have any kind of communication system aboard to mess with the weaponry. So this is an example where the tachyon weapon works great against the bugs. It wouldn't work against a Terran ship. So you have to be careful. And by Terran, I mean by human, against a human ship. You got the electromagnetic pulse cannon, and then some other stuff that you have aboard your ship. Enhanced filtration system, co-pilots, command ships. And the TOC, I'm not sure, let's see what TOC stands for. Technical Operation Command, I believe. The TOC weaponry is just used to obscure Terran ships to help bugs not be able to track them that well. You've got a scanner suite, which is enhanced to find bugs. And then the bugs extrude ink as one of their safeties, so this is a way that humans can penetrate through the ink. And then data link terminus torpedoes, which can be guided torpedoes. And then there are data link terminus torpedoes on Warhounds. And here's, of course, one thing I loved about Silent Death. They gave a bunch of optional rules. Even when in the book giving you the rules, they give you optional rules. So it was pretty good. And I play with a lot of optional rules from Silent Death. But I haven't modified Silent Death, virtually nothing else. I've used some of their modified rules, but that's it. And then we come down to Night Watch units, their breakdown. Different squadrons from different worlds. And then we come to the ships. So this is an equalizer for the Night Watch. Anything with NW is Night Watch. And of course, we have the total point value of 123. And then we would have to add in the pilot skill, the gunner skill for the pilot, and then the co-pilot. That would tell us who gets what, or who can fire what, and what the bonus is to their attack die. And then, of course, that goes to damage. So here we have the tachyon cannon, which is good against bugs only. This thing's massive. It's 2 die 10, plus your attack die bonus. So if your attack die bonus is a 6, for instance, you'd be throwing 2 die 10 plus a die 6. And then your damage is all. So everything you roll. So if you threw a 7, an 8, and a 4, that would be 19. Your damage would be 19 to the bug ship. So that's pretty sweet. Target speed restriction, I explained in a previous video. That's how fast the vessel goes. If it travels faster than 15 in the core rules, or 14 in this case, I'm sorry, if it travels faster than 14, you can't target it with that weapon. The alternate rule we use is that you can target it, but it's a minus. So if the target speed is a 16 and my weapon speed restriction is a 14, then I'd be 16 minus 14 is 2. I'd be minus 2 to hit that vessel. And that would also, that would not actually impact my damage. One nice thing about Silent Death. So here are some of the other ships. Here's the Javelin gunboat. Right there. And then the Falcon, which is a Warhound. They did this in some of the Silent Death books, and I've got to tell you, I wasn't a fan. So here's the Warhound here. Here's the other half of the Falcon Warhound here. I found that a little frustrating because as you're reading the ship, you've got to flip between the pages. So then we continue on. The Rattler, anything with NW is a Nightwing ship. The Thunderbird, especially for Nightwing. And some of these ships were just modified and just used for the Nightwing. They weren't necessarily different. And here we have new bug ships, which was pretty cool. I was not expecting that when I bought this supplement. I didn't think there'd be new bug ships. So we have the Larva and the Manta. So, pretty neat. The Ramara, the Shagai. These are a lot of the ones that are in the other bug supplement, but you get them again here. And then there's a few others. The pages stick together. Come on. Okay. The Squidge, the Thistle. And the back of the book tells us which of these guys was brand new. The Tiger Moth, the Vartak. And then we always got the new weapon system data table. Your scanner costs for building your ships. There's actually a really sweet building system into this game, but I have to admit, I didn't build any ships for this. I found the 200 and some ships they already had pre-built. Plenty, but you can build your own also in Silent Death. That's in the core rules. Little ad showing all the products you can buy. And then this shows how the various houses feel about working with the Universal Night Watch. So, again, you get a wealth of information. Here are all the scenarios. You get basic scenarios, which gives you the squadrons and what all their pilot skills are, what vessels they have, and then a scenario with victory conditions, usually setting turn limits. So, and then you have a set of advanced scenarios, which does the same thing, but there's more ships. As you can see, a lot more to do. So these books were very useful. I'm going to show you the back of the book now. I was talking about how it showed which two were new for the bugs in this one. Two new ships were the Muckworm and the Vartak. So the Muckworm and the Vartak right there. So I really enjoyed Universal Night Watch. We did a lot of Night Watch versus Bugs scenarios. And the Night Watch is by no means invincible. They can be taken out by Bug forces. It's just a matter of how. So it was pretty balanced. I like it. And this was a later release about the middle point of Silent Death. So it's not too weak. It's very useful. And again, they're coming out with new Silent Death sometime soon. And they're starting with the bugs. So I'm assuming, logic tells me if they're starting with the bugs, we'll be seeing a new Universal Night Watch soon. So whenever that releases, we're excited, guys. So that's it for today from page 121. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and go ahead and tell your friends. And if any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.